believe I've actually never videoed a Victoria sponge, so for some reason I thought I had. So anyway, well, that's what we're going to do today. So straight away, nice and easy, such a simple recipe this. 225 grams of self-raising flour with 2 teaspoons of baking powder added to it, and then I always just sieve it just to give it that wee bit extra air. Pop this out the road. Now this is going to be fitting 8-inch tins, which I've already prepared. I've grazed and put the paper in. So it's 225 of flour, 225 of butter or spread, you know, your baking spreads, 225 of sugar and 4 eggs. However, I'm making it this size today because I had lots of eggs. If you wanted to, and you just wanted to make the 7-inch ones, then just change your ingredients down to 175. So it would be 175 flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 175 butter, 175 sugar and 3 eggs. So if you're wanting to just not be making such a big cake, because I'm making 2 big cakes. Everything's just going in here together today. Now I always just split my eggs and put them into a bowl, because especially if they've been lying a wee while, I'll just do the old nose test and make sure they haven't just turned a little. So we're just going to give this a quick beat up. Victoria sponges are so easy and they look so good when they're done. Now, just depending on, you don't need to overbeat this, but just depending on the size of your eggs, you might, like I'm about to, decide to add just a little bit of milk. I like it to be a loose mixture. I always think if it's thicker, so a couple of tablespoons, start off with a couple of tablespoons, and we'll just loosen it up slightly. Didn't need to use a mixer, you could just have done it by hand anyway. I just use the mixer for speed. But if I'm not on camera, I tend to treat this as a workout and just get mixing like mad. And that is the base for your Victoria sandwich. This is the base for just about any cake. For me, if I was making a coffee cake, I would just at this point have 2 dessert spoons of coffee already melted, just in a little bit of water. I'd add it then. If I was making a chocolate cake, I would just put a couple of dessert spoons of cocoa powder into this. And that is how you start off the base of any cake, as far as I'm concerned anyway. I'm sure there will be people out there that will say, oh, you should be melting chocolate or whatever, but not me. So that's that bit done. Like I say, I've already got my 2 trays ready. Now, don't worry if it looks as though it's split, that's perfectly normal. This one looks like it's split a wee bit, but that's perfectly normal in batter. Certainly don't need to worry about it. Now, I'm not a perfectionist. I don't have the scales out here. They will be as close as my eye tells me there. Now all we're going to do is flatten these out. I'll just do one just now. Now if you're wanting one of them to try not to peak,
I should put sleeve in that other one.
Oh, thank you, Kenneth. If you're wanting one of them to try not to peak, just try and leave a little bit of an indentation in the middle of one of them, and that one will be your base. Won't matter if it doesn't, because you would just invert it anyway. Turn it the other way up, and then we'll just do the same here. Now these are going in an oven at 180 degrees centigrade, which is 375 Fahrenheit, gas mark 4, just the middle of the oven, and they should only take 25 minutes to cook. So I will just pull out the last wee bit here. Anybody that watches me knows I don't like to waste anything. And then we'll pop them in the oven. Just like that. And don't do what quite often you're tempted to do and run it off the side. Try and keep things away from the side, because that's when you get your wee burnty bits. Now they should fit on the same shelf. if you just angle them if you don't have a massive oven like me. And 25 minutes, and we'll come back and check them then. See you in a wee minute. Bye. Okay, just going to take them out the oven. Now at this point we're not going to really do anything with them. Just bring them out and let them cool. You see how they've just not risen too high, that's just by having slightly flattened it. Oh, that one's slightly overdone at the back of the oven, but that won't matter, that'll be the one that'll be underneath. Never panic about things, you can disguise it. I'm going to just leave these now just for 5 minutes to start to cool off in the tin, and then I'll take them out the tins and put them on a cooling tray and leave for half an hour or so till they've completely cooled. And once I know that they've cooled, I'm going to just whip up some double cream. Now I don't want to over whip it, but I'll show you the consistency once I've done it, and then we'll come back and we'll just dress the cakes in a wee while. So see you again in a minute. Bye. Okay, these have completely cooled now. Now I'm going to just say straight off, I'm not 100% happy with these today. I think the first thing I'm going to be doing when this curfew or lockdown is over is buying new tins. For all I had greased and put my paper in that in, they have stuck a little. But as I always say, never panic, because by the time this is finished, if there's wee bits come away, you'll never notice. So straight off, I've put about a third of a jar of jam into just a cup here, because I like to give it a really good beat, because that way you just get out, you know, if there's any lumps. So we'll just put it onto the centre of the cake and then spread it over. I mean, like I say, you know, if there's wee bits of raggy, it's not going to matter too much, because, you know, years and years ago, you used to always put ribbons around cakes. And as you get older, you start to realise that's probably why your mother put a ribbon round a cake. Hide any little imperfections. But if you want to have more jam or cream or whatever, and then just have it, you know, so as it drips down the sides, that can be entirely up to yourself. By the time I put my other cake on top of this, that's maybe just what will happen. Put this to the side. Now the cream, I have whipped it up. Now, like I said, it's just a pot of double cream, which would just, I don't think I've still got it handy, just the ordinary standard size pot. Now it is thick, but I've not over whipped it. You don't want it to be like butter. So we're just going to put a couple of big dots in the centre, and we're going to hold some cream back. Okay, now again, up to yourself, you can start to work it over a little, or you can just pop the other cake on top and let it do, you let gravity take care of it. You just put that to the side, and then gently with your other one on top. And like I say, it won't matter if it starts to come out a little, that'll be perfectly fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a dot in the centre, as such. I might just leave a wee bit for my coffee after dinner here, Kenny. You're just wanting it in the centre, as like so. And then we're just going to decorate it with a few strawberries. Now we're going to just do shards, so as we can just stick them up. Whoops! Slow down, and then you won't make a mess. We'll just, oh, I could be doing the ring of Brugger here, Kenny. The standing stones of Stennis, or whichever. These strawberries were ever so slightly hard when I got them home, but we've just had them out in the sunshine in the conservatory for a wee while. And the other thing I've had to do today, I don't know exactly how well it'll have worked, but we couldn't get our hands on icing sugar. So what we've done is just use some castor sugar, and I've beaten it to within an inch of its life, so hopefully I've got enough sugar, like sort of frosting sugar, to give it a sprinkle over the top. But if you just give me 2 seconds here, we'll just finish this off. We're just going to cut some chunks, put it in the centre. Oops, that one's maybe a wee bit big, but you'll get the hang. you'll see what it is I'm trying to do, just create something that you're hoping to get your teeth into. And then over the top with just a little icing. And there you have just the very basic of Victoria sponges. And Kenny's giving me the signal what you wanting it turned that way. There you go. This is slightly more sugary than I would have wanted, but I couldn't get ice and sugar. So if you do have ice and sugar, use ice and sugar for over the top. But there you have just an easy homemade Victoria sponge. I know it took a wee while, but hey ho. Hope you give it a bash and let me know how you get on. If there's anything else that you fancy me making, just get in touch. I had somebody in touch last week, so we're going to just do some rock buns. Anything that you want to ask me or that, just drop us a wee line now. I'm going to actually put this one up obviously on Orkney News, I always do, but I'll also put it up with a butter cream recipe rather than just fresh cream in case you don't want to use fresh cream. And that would be the orkneynews.scot. I don't think there's anything else to say today, apart from, as always, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Bye.